What is up, JL Life? Modell here, and today's video is a little bit different. We're going to be doing a product review and overview on a camping cooler. Stay tuned. There it is. So today's video, we're actually going to be going through an overview and review of an electric power refrigerator, cooler, freezer. Freezer is a more appropriate term because this actually gets down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit to freeze things. Beforehand, when we would go out to go camping or just extended outdoors trips, we would bring a cooler, and we have one of the nice coolers that actually hold ice for a couple of days. Inside, it's not too bad of a space. However, this is bulky. The sides are thick. And my biggest complaint with using a cooler is you have to fill it with ice. Now, the problem with ice, you have to start thinking ahead and keeping all of your food and your cooled items waterproof. Otherwise, it'd get soggy and ruin everything. Come to it, the strength of an electric power refrigerator / freezer, you don't have to use ice. I've unboxed it. Let's look inside of it and see what this comes with. This is the AJ model. So it has a sealed lid. To open it, you have to pull the handle. It opens up. Stay open. Stay open. Stay open. Stay. Now, I picked this model for a couple of reasons. So this model comes from PowerSet. It is a more budget-friendly, budget-conscious refrigerator / freezer unit. And the main reason I went with this one over other ones, well, a couple of reasons. The first one being that it is both DC and AC voltage. And so what that means is, one, I could plug it into the 12-volt adapter inside the Jeep. Or if there's another situation, I can actually just plug it in directly to a wall with the provided adapter. They have other refrigerators, but they don't come with that, and that has to be purchased separately. I don't want to do that. Also included is hardware and bits to mount handles onto the refrigerator, which I suggest to do. You just pull off those grommets and screw it all together. So let's talk specs with this unit. This one in particular is called the AJ40, which stands for 40-liter cooler. It's roughly about 30 pounds, and the dimensions are 27.5 by 13 by 17 and some change. Once you do get this unit, do not plug it in until leaving it to stand for 4 hours, and that's just to ensure all of the liquids inside of the compressor and motor settle back down and nothing breaks when it starts freezing. Some of the other specifications for this cooler is the temperature range. It ranges all the way from 0 degree Fahrenheit to 50 degree. So you can keep a wide variety of things in there, whether you want to bring frozen meat home or out to camp, or you're just looking to keep some drinks chilled for a day out at the range. It also comes with both Max and Eco mode. The Max mode is going to ensure that it cools down much quicker, and the Eco mode is going to, well, as you would expect, be more economically friendly to whatever power device that you are hooked up to. One of the other nice things about this cooler is that it has an anti-shake feature, which is more in line for the type of things we like to do in our Jeeps. So what that means is that the cooler can tip up to 30 degrees one way, and it will continue to work rather than just automatically shutting off and having to be restarted. Also mentioned earlier, this model also comes with both the AC and DC adapters. The other models from SetPower, you actually have to buy the adapters separately, and that was one of the main reasons I wanted this model, is because I didn't have to go and buy those things separately, but it costs about 30 bucks for the extra adapter. A battery protection mode. Now, what they claim is that it will shut off before it kills your vehicle battery. So if you do leave this plugged in, before your battery dies in your vehicle, which of course you don't want to happen when you're out in the middle of nowhere, that this should shut off. And there is a 3-year warranty for this on the compressor and a 1-year warranty on all other parts. So we go off-roading in the Jeeps, and obviously if this comes with us, it's going to be in the back of the Jeep. Now the thing with Jeeps, they get very off camber. Here, let me show you. Yeah, that stuff. Well, with this one, granted, there is still a point where it will stop. This will continue to run problem-free up to a 30-degree camber, which means, I mean, that's a bit much. But as long as it stays within a 30-degree, doesn't go beyond 30 degrees tipping one way or the other, it will continue to stay cool. But a couple of quick cliff notes. It is recommended once you get this, do not plug it in for at least 4 hours before charging it up. And that is just to make sure all the coolant and the oil in the motor settles so you don't plug it in and break something. Also with this unit, it has a 1-year total warranty and it has a 3-year warranty on the compressor. Going inside of the unit, you have a little floodlight, which I will show you that a little later, and an actual freezer area with a removable cage. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to plug it in to see how long it takes to get to freezing temperature, and we'll go from there. And after we get it to freezing temperature, we're going to see how long it will hold its temperature. Obviously, there's going to be some give and take, that you have your compressor and your motor generating the cool to make it cold in there. You're sacrificing material used, like in one of these, that's going to hold the cool, preventing the heat from getting in. So that's kind of what I want to see with this video. I'm going to move this experiment inside so I don't leave this out in the sun all day. That's not advised. So using the provided adapter, plugs into a wall. Use the 12-volt adapter, which plugs directly into the unit. Now we should have power. So we're going to go ahead and so you got your on-off, your max, eco, then your plus or minus. So my assumption, we're going to start with max and see how long it takes to get the temperature. After 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour. There we go, finally hit 0, and it has been 1 hour and 13 minutes. So the next thing we're going to do is see how long it goes from being unplugged to your food spoiling. So I'm going to turn it off and I will give you updates. And yes, I'm going for a bike ride. About an hour after, went from 0 to 45. Here we are at 2 hours. Quite honestly, once we get to 50 degrees, I think we're kind of done because food's going to start to spoil. So roughly about 2 hours, between 1 hour and 2 hours is when the temperature starts to fade. And that's only when it's unplugged, though this is supposed to be plugged in all the time. That could be concerning. For obvious reasons, you might not have electricity all the time. Now, Ideally, what you want something like this hooked up to if you're out camping is one of those lithium cell battery packs, one of these big things. Real quick, I want to show you just getting it into the Jeep plugged in and just show you how easy it is. And what's nice about the JLs, it already has a 12 volt in the back. And turn it on, hit eco mode. And of course, you can use the handles to tie it down to whatever your vehicle is. There's the motor sound. And remember, this is supposed to have an automatic shut off. Again, though I appreciate it as a fail-safe, I would not rely on something like that when, in the event it does drain your battery. And I'm not saying that it would. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I have a big problem. And me saying, well, it wasn't supposed to do that, isn't going to fix it. What I would recommend is either having the Jeep started while it's going and you're driving out to wherever you're going. In the event you unplug it, either have a dual battery setup or an external battery supply. So where I really see this unit shining is obviously in situations where you can leave it plugged in all the time. Once you get it plugged in, reach it to temperature, hit eco mode, and let's let it coast. Where that's going to really be easy for us to do are days where we go 4x4ing and we're just out in the Jeeps all day on a trail. We're always going to have cold drinks and cold food in the freezer, which is awesome. Now, if you want to go and drive out to the mesa and have cool drinks and all the other good shenanigans, well, what I recommend, because I don't like the idea of constantly, as is how a vehicle is set up, having something constantly drain the battery when the vehicle's not started, because, well, I never want to get to the point to where my vehicle's not going to start. And I'm sure you'd want the same if you're out in the middle of nowhere, driving RC cars, shooting guns, all that other fun stuff, and your battery dies because you left your freezer plugged in, though I understand they say it won't happen. Well, they're not going to be the ones calling AAA for me, so I wouldn't trust it. I would get an external battery pack, one of those like Gold Zeros, Jackery, they make them, and have that plugged into some solar panels and hook it up to your freezer, and it'd be good to go. I understand why it doesn't hold temperature very well, as I already said, because you're paying for the actual motor and compressor and the coolant and all that stuff. Well, that's the money that these really expensive coolers, like the white one I showed earlier, they invest all the money into the insulation and no motor. This freezer is investing into the motor, not so much the insulation. Running, it really isn't that loud. It's relatively quiet, but there is a notable hum that you do hear when it is plugged in. And just for an honest disclaimer, I was sent this cooler for free. However, that hasn't affected my honest overview of this product. The biggest appeal of this unit is how cheap it is. It's a $350 freezer, and if you go start looking for the higher end stuff, you're looking around $1,000, and some people might not want to spend that, because even on top of the $1,000, I'm assuming you're still going to need a lithium battery pack, which is going to be about another $300 to $800, potentially more, depending on what you get. But that's not what this is about. This is just the freezer. They are offering 13% off using the discount code JLLife Offroad. In the event you're looking to get this for yourself, however, this is only for the AJ model, the 30, the 40, and the 50. And of course, 30, 40, and 50 correspond with liters, 30 liter, 40 liter, 50 liter. We are also moving our channel content to Rumble. So if you're on Rumble, Go look for us and subscribe. I haven't moved all the content over there. It's starting. It's a process. But please go and support us over there. But guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned for the next one, y'all. Keep it easy.